Welcome everybody to the B Conference Championship for field hockey in the IAAM. Momentarily, we'll have our national anthem. And we're ready to make the announcements of the players. The stadium announcer will do the honors of the non-playing athletes or the non-starting athletes, and then they will announce the starters. We'll give you the starters for both teams and momentarily. The starting lineup for the JC Patriots: number 1, Lily Welling, junior. Number 2, Jade Thomas, senior. 3 is Cameron Plotz, junior. Number 10 is Molly Leverick, freshman. 11 is Leah Fulton, senior. Katie Wine, number 12, is a senior. 13, Paige Freeberger, senior. 15, Hillary Smith, freshman. And 18, Sarah Monisis, sophomore. And now for Severn, number 6, Antonio Huber, senior. 7 is Addison Lamb, a junior. 9 is Lila Dupac, freshman. 10, Anna Campion, senior. 11 is Annabelle Williams, a senior. 12 is Taylor Smolin, a senior. 17, Nora Pavin, a senior. 23 is Kelsey Polsdal. She's a junior. 25 is Sadie Pisegno. She's a sophomore. And in goal, number 98, Caroline Davis, senior. Goalkeeper for John Carroll, number 88, Josie Bianco. She's a senior. And we're just moments away from our first quarter action. 15-minute quarters here in our championship final.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we need some volunteer ball runners. Just go over to the scores table right
Just finished the championship in the C conference here at Stevenson, at Mustang Stadium in Stevenson University, where we had Roland Park and Glen Elg. Roland Park the victors in that. The final score was 6-2. John Carroll controlled the pushback. And it is controlled. Leah Fulton.
John Carroll is in the white. Severn is in the maroon.
John Carroll defending on the left in white, and in maroon on our right is Severn. The Admirals and the Patriots. Taken by John Carroll, middle of the field. Dribbling into the circle. And we'll have our first corner of the day awarded to John Carroll. Taking it will be number 12, Katie Wayne. Shot. Score! John Carroll's goal. Looks like it was Lily Whaling. We'll wait for the official announcement. Beautiful feed, shot from the circle into the back of the net.
Goal by number 1, Lily.
It was number 1, Lily Whaling, junior, with the goal. And John Carroll ball out of bounds. Ball awarded to the Admirals. number 7, Addison Lamb. The ball goes over to John Carroll. Cross field. Pushed up. And caught a foot. Over to Severn. Down in the corner. Retrieved by number 17, Nora Paven. Bringing it in, number 20, Madeline Ripley. Ball sent up, taken back, poked in by number 6, Antonia Huber. And in the circle, taken back out. And off the leg, and first corner set up for Severn. 12:03 remaining in the first quarter. As John Carroll, the Patriots, grab the headgear. Feed to the top, set up, and catches a leg, and turnover goes to John Carroll. Lily Whaling gets it out to the sideline in front of the John Carroll bench. And out of bounds, back over to Severn. Will be brought in by Addison Lamb. She gets a lift, and now controlled by John Carroll. Jade Thames, I'm sorry. And taken away by Severn. Nice move by number 9. That was Lila Dupchik. Ball gets through to the midfield. And an obstruction, and it'll go over to Severn. And an obstruction. Ball back to Severn. Nine minutes, 30 seconds remain in the first quarter. And it'll go over to John Carroll. Again, all the action at the moment in front of the John Carroll bench. Now we're going to flip the direction here. I'll take it right back where it was. Ball pushed up to midfield. Good defensive move by Severn. Ball goes out of bounds. And a timeout called by Severn with 8 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the first quarter. John Carroll with the early lead, 1-0. In the B Conference for 2025, Severn led the conference with an undefeated season, 8-2. I'm sorry, 8-0-2, 2 ties. McDonough finished second, 6-2-2, and John Carroll third, 6-3-1. John Carroll knocked off McDonough in the playoffs to play Severn here in the championship game. In the playoffs, Severn defeated St. Paul's 4-0, and John Carroll defeated McDonough 1-0 to advance to today's championship. The Admirals are coached by Giovanni Gordon, and Amy Plotz is the coach for the John Carroll Patriots. Okay, ready for the action to start up again. Ball poked out of bounds. We'll go over to the Patriots. Ball moving up the sideline and kicked out of bounds.
Into the game for the Admirals, number 11, Annabelle Williams. And number 17, Nora Pavon.
Into the lineup for Severn, Annabelle Williams, number 11, and Nora Pavon, number 17. Good dribbling by John Carroll, rewarded Lily Whaling. Now over to Jade Thames. She gets it up to number 12. And that's Katie Wayne. Couple mishits at the midfield. And the ball is going to go over to John Carroll. Number 4, Grace Ferry. Out to the midfield. Good cross pass. Now inside. Kick save by Severn goalie out of bounds. Brought in by John Carroll, number 12, Katie Wayne. Jumps over the stick of a John Carroll player, taken away by the Admirals. And the shot goes out of bounds. As the shot outside the a goal. Wouldn't have mattered, it was off goal anyhow. Now Severn makes their way into the shooting circle. Taken away by John Carroll. And the circle. Ball comes up to number 11, Leo Fulton. Inside the circle, kicked out. Open shot, not there. Taken by the Admirals and up the near sideline. It'll be controlled by number 6 for the Admirals. And that is Antonio Huber. On the sideline and turned back over to John Carroll after it went off a leg. Caught a leg. 2 minutes and 58 seconds in the first quarter. One nothing Patriots. And the ball on the far sideline being brought up. Intercepted by the Admirals, then taken back by John Carroll.
Into the game for the Admirals, number 11, Annabelle Williams. Number 17,
Annabelle Williams in the lineup for Severn.
and number 5, Hadley Patton.
Also, Hadley Patton in the lineup for Severn. It'll be John Carroll ball outside the circle. .152 remaining. And the defense takes it away for the Admirals. And it catches a foot. Over to the Admirals, number 7, Addison Lamb. Sends it all the way down into the John Carroll end, where it's going to be handled by number 1, Lily Whaling. She sends it across on a miss hit. And back to Severn. They'll send it back into their zone. Contested by John Carroll. Poked away. John Carroll has numbers 2-on-1. The goalie comes out, kicks it away. And 25 seconds remains in the quarter. Taken back away by John Carroll. And pushed up into the middle. 10 seconds. And a corner awarded to John Carroll with 7.9 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Julia DuBois in the lineup for the Admirals. Shot. Oh, hits the crossbar. And that'll end the first quarter with the John Carroll Patriots leading 1-0 over the Severn Admirals. We'll be back to you in just a moment. We'll keep the video on the field and join you with the audio in just a moment. We'll be right back. And we get ready for quarter number 2. Teams taken to the field again. A lot of action between the goals. Not too many shots on goal in the first quarter. John Carroll got a quick goal on a corner by Lily Whaling to give them a 1-0 lead. And ball off the leg of John Carroll, turned over to Severn. And again, caught a leg. And it'll go back over to John Carroll. Number 12 had a Fusting control over to, whoops. And goes back to the Admirals. Number 6, that was Antonio Huber. With the ball up almost to midfield. It goes back to John Carroll. Number 4, Grace Ferry. Feed in, but goes over the stick of number 11, Leah Fulton, and out of bounds. It'll go back over to the Admirals. 13 minutes remaining in the half. Now the Admirals on a bit of a break. Number 7 through traffic and catches the leg of a teammate, and the ball turned over to John Carroll. Nice movement by Addison Lamb through the John Carroll defense. Ball dumped in. And we got our first penalty of the game coming off for the Admirals, number 17. That'll be Nora Pavin. And John Carroll will go on the person up here for the duration of the penalty. Ball moved up off the foot of number 10, Anna Campion. So the turnover over to John Carroll be put in play by number 4, Grace Ferry. Wheeling, pokes it up. And over to number 12, Katie Wayne. But it gets turned over to the Admirals. Ball sent all the way down the field and out of bounds in the John Carroll end. And retrieved out of bounds. And will be put back in play by John Carroll. Number 12, Katie Wayne, over to Nora Thame. Taken by, and a call, going to send it the other way. She sends it back to Wheeling. And the turnover. Madeline Ripley has it. Taken by number 7. And off the leg. And we'll have our corner by Severn. with 10 minutes and 7 seconds remaining in the half. Might be the first test for Josie Bianco as Severn puts it in, set up, shot, and it goes just wide. Wide left by about a foot. And off the pad of or off one of the players on the John Carroll side. Addison Lamb with great step work, good footwork as well. Pass up to number 11 for John Carroll. Leah Fulton on the attack. Pass over, teammate. Shot. And it's going to be John Carroll's ball right at the circle. Poke it back out. And the ball gets turned over to the Admirals. We'll go the other way. And the ball fed to the far sidelines in front of the Patriot bench. And the Patriots turn it and go the other way. Eight minutes, 15 seconds to go in the half. Feed in. Back out to midfield. And the ball going to get turned over to John Carroll. And they'll put it in play. Ball sent up, intercepted by Severn. Ball deflected out of bounds. It's going to go over to Severn in front of their bench.
Into the game for the Admirals, number 11, Annabelle Williams, and number 17.
And goes out to the right of the goal and retrieved by the goalie for John Carroll, Josie Bianco, senior. Lily Whaling in control. She'll get it out to the wing. And movement up. And turnover to Severn. And it remains Severn's ball. Addison Lamb. Lamb double teamed. And we'll have another corner for Severn with 5:41 remaining in the first half. Another strong crowd here for the B Conference game. And many of you watching the B Conference on our live stream, we thank you for joining us here today. Ball out at the top. Intercepted by John Carroll. And poked out to the sideline in front of the John Carroll bench. Now up the sideline and on a fast break. Poked up. Taken by John Carroll. Impeded again. Pass back. Step in to the circle. And gets poked out. Fame. Cross. Ball up high. It's going to be a corner for John Carroll. 4 minutes and 17 seconds remain in the second quarter. John Carroll with the lead 1-0 here in the B Conference Championship for 2025 in the IAAM. Again, we're live here at Stevenson University Mustang Stadium. Beautiful place. Used to be the Baltimore Colts complex. I happened to work there until 1984 when they left me. But brings back lots of memories staring at the old building and the fields here on campus now of Stevenson University. Shot up high in front and knocked out of bounds. Good defensive play. Ball go back to John Carroll with 4 minutes remaining in the first half. And turned over, goes to the Admirals. Ball put down, sent, and a whistle on the play. And player sent off. And probably a blood issue, it looks like. And Severn with a substitute in the game, number 23. That's Kelsey Posdal in the lineup. Addison Arias in the game for John Carroll.
Also into the game for the Admirals, number 2, Julia DeBoer.
And the ball possessed by the Admirals. And off the leg of Severn. And over to John Carroll with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. And John Carroll brings it up over the midfield. front of the scores table. Taken away by the Admirals. And we've got a John Carroll penalty. Player sent off, number 15 for John Carroll. That's Hillary Smith, I believe. Hard to catch that number up the field. Ball taken by Addison Lamb. And there's a corner given to Severn with 2:31 remaining. One nothing, John Carroll. 2:31 remaining in the half. And feed out. Pass, shot. And the ball goes over to John Carroll. Defensed well. And now taken above the circle and pushed in front of the John Carroll bench. Pressure on. Steps through, back out, down the sideline, but poked away by Severn. And knocked up, down the sideline, controlled by number 10 for John Carroll, Molly Laverick. Look inside in the circle, along the baseline, back out, and out of bounds. And it'll go over to Severn. Into the game, number 17 for Severn, Nora Pavin. Ball pushed up and taken by John Carroll.
That was number 13, Giselle Brown.
Giselle Brown into the lineup for Severn. The correction by the stadium announcer. Addison Lamb darts into the circle. Shot, and it goes wide. Wicked shot from the left. Goes to the right of goalie John Carroll. 20 seconds remains in the half. The ball back up to midfield. Now less than 10. And into the half. And it remains John Carroll 1, Severn nothing as we hit the halftime here at Mustang Stadium on the campus of Stevenson University in the B Conference IAAM Field Hockey Championships. We have a 7-minute halftime. We'll put the clock on, leave the video on the field, and we will be back to you in about 5 minutes here at the half. Thank you. And we'll change ends of the field and get rolling with the second half of this. John Carroll leading 1-0 over the Severn Admirals. Only goal scored by Lily Whaling for John Carroll. And a pushback will be taken by Severn to start the half. Ball handled by Whaling. And then out of bounds, it'll go back to the Admirals. And they'll poke it down and it goes out of bounds and the ball will get turned back over to John Carroll. 13:50 remaining in the third quarter. Ball attempted to be saved in bounds, goes out of bounds, and the turnover will go back to John Carroll. Long poke into the Severn end of the field. And along the sidelines in front of the John Carroll bench. And past midfield brings Severn, and now in front of their bench to the midfield. And taken back by John Carroll. And an obstruction, ball back to Severn. And they'll play it to the sideline and up the far sideline. Across midfield. And down as they move in. Kick save. And a corner awarded to Severn. And John Carroll will put on their protective headgear. Good. Quarter played in to the top, sent over, taken away by John Carroll, and then taken back by Severn. And off a Severn player, and the ball will go back to John Carroll just outside the circle. 11 minutes, 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Whaling for John Carroll, takes it. And it's going to be brought up the near sideline this time. And ball back over to Severn. to the midfield. And down, and unfortunately out of bounds for John Carroll. Ball back over to the Admirals. Played cross field. Poked out of bounds by the Patriots. And played in by Severn. A whistle on the field. We'll reset that. Up to the midfield. And a collision. And it'll go over to John Carroll. Off a foot. And it'll be turned back over to John Carroll. And set up at the midfield. And John Carroll in possession. Referee moving things back. And a quarter. Seconds remain. Pass out into the circle and caught a foot, and it'll get turned over to John Carroll. Then taken back by Severn. Across the crease, kicked out of bounds. It'll be Severn ball outside the circle. Severn keeping the pressure on here. And a quarter awarded to Severn with 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Lila Dupek handling the corner for Severn. Pass, shot, and a no goal. No goal. No goal. Official blew their whistle for a violation, and ball went over to John Carroll. And now John Carroll brings it up. Player goes And up to John Carroll. John Carroll pokes it up all the way down into the Severn corner, on the far corner of the field, where Severn will retrieve and put it in play with 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Severn gets it outside the circle. And sent off for Severn is Kelsey Posdal. Now handled intercepted. And then taken away again by Severn. Pass inside. And it'll go up the other way. Now in the middle of the field. And the action picked back up. Nice dribbling through traffic. John Carroll gets it up. Over to the side. And caught a leg, unfortunately. And the turnover will go back to Severn. Outside their 30. Outside their circle. And the ball goes over to John Carroll. Severn putting the pressure on. Down 1 goal here in the fourth quarter. Corner given to Severn. Ball out of bounds. played in by Severn. And turned over to John Carroll. And we'll have a conference with the officials. So it won't be a corner. The ball played outside the circle by Severn. Corner for Severn with 10 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Carroll. So and put in play at the top. Sidelines, intercepted. And again, ball back to John Carroll. Eight minutes, 50 seconds remain. And ball back over to Severn. And taking it for them, number 6 will be Antonio Huber. Ball all the way in, turned over, back to John. And ball over to John Carroll. Six minutes remaining. Ball intercepted by Severn and pushed up but out of bounds. John Carroll can't clear their Severn pushes everyone up. And the shot goes wide. And it'll go over to Severn. Outside the zone. And it goes out of bounds. And back to Severn. And this time it's going to go over to John Carroll with 4 minutes. Frustration a bit from Severn. Ball in, turned over to and it goes back to John Carroll. 2 minutes remain. The ball sent down into the Severn across the midfield. And on the wing, passed in and knocked out. John Carroll controls on the sideline, bringing it up with 1:30 remaining. Brought out. Poked in all the way through. Out of bounds. It'll go over to. And it goes back to John Carroll with 20 seconds remaining. Less than 10. Or 5. And that's it. John Carroll is your B conference. So we're getting a
interference?
No. We're getting we're getting a wireless connection.
All right, ladies, let's line up, please.
But we're losing it. We're fighting for it, but we're losing it. Yeah.
Presenting today's award will be the athletic directors of both schools and our executive director of the IAAM.
John Carroll celebrating their victory 1-0 over Severn. And we're about ready to have the awards presentation. And that'll happen at midfield. Athletic directors from each school. Severn will be the recipient of the runner-up plaque. That will be awarded first, but we'll have our ceremonial and nostalgic handshake here from both teams, showing sportsmanship. One of the tenets of the conference, the IAAM.